So
Say your name again.
Okay, I'll greet you in my native language, which is Karis. Guatzi hopa harsime.
Can you speak as well in native?
I can speak a
Let
little.
me put this on, otherwise to improve
Speaker. Okay. Just go
Is
ahead. I give you permission.
Thank you. It's with your permission, of course.
Yes.
Here it is. It's gonna hear better.
Okay.
Like now. So now you can start if you want to.
Okay. All right. Just want to
So
say.
you can say your name.
Okay. Good morning. My name, my Native American name is Shwispida Sikeshua, and I am a tribal member from the Pueblo Indians here in New Mexico of the United
you
States.
can talk to me now. Like,
talk to you.
but
good.
Like this, but
Stay
looking
here.
at me. Yeah, look.
Good.
That's it.
Thank you. And I'm a tribal member from the Pueblo Indians from the Pueblo of Laguna and the village of Quishji. So I'm from Cueca, and our village is Quishji. And so that's Laguna Pueblo, one of 19 pueblos. Our sister pueblo is Acoma Pueblo, which is very, very, very well known, and we have a lot of pottery from Acoma Pueblo. So I'd like to go start and explain. There was a revolt here in New Mexico among the Pueblo Indians with the against the Spaniards who were conquered. This tried and to a certain extent succeeded in conquering this area back in 1680. There was a revolt. There was a Pueblo, it's called the Great Pueblo Revolt of 1680. And since the 1600s, the conquistadors came up from Mexico, from Spain to Mexico City, and then up into New Mexico in search of the, seven cities of gold. That's what they, that's what they heard. So they came up through Mexico City and up into New Mexico, and discovered that there were primarily three nations of Native Americans here at the time. There's the Dene, the Navajo people, and then the Apache, and then the Pueblos. Now, the Pueblos are primary. We reside along the Rio Grande River, and exclusively only in the state of New Mexico, out of all the 50 states, only here. And there are 19 different Pueblos, and each Pueblo specializes in their own art, their own culture. But there's 4 dialects among the 19 different Pueblos, in addition to the Navajo. They're a different tribe, and in addition to the Apache. So 1608 and 1600, the conquistadors from Spain came to New Mexico, this area of the Rio Grande River, and in search of gold, and started to claim the land here, because in order for them to claim the gold, they had to claim the land. And in order to claim the land, they started to build the Catholic churches that were here. And so with the claiming the Catholic Church and the religion, that's how they started to establish land grants here, and where our native Puebloan people were first nations, first people, indigenous peoples that had this land first. Mm-hmm. So it's a sad story, but it's true. The conquistadors and the priests were very adamant about establishing the land, and they got the native people to work and to build these churches, and they were very firm. And they said that if you didn't, build these things, we could torment you and your families. And they did. They tormented our people in order to establish and they said, well, you can no longer, it's pagan for you to do your Indian dances and such and have your traditions. So it was really a hard thing that went on for 80 years.
Mm-hmm. Just different position to see your face. Okay. No, you can look at me. I can. Yeah.
Okay, so in 1680, the leaders, the war captains, and the leaders of the different pueblos decided that they were going to have a revolt and take back their land, their people, their culture, and they weren't going to go the way of the Catholic Church and the Christianity. They were going to come and do whatever they could to reclaim the land and our culture and our dances. So what they decided to do, since there's 19 pueblos, they decided through that they were going to overthrow the conquistadors and the priests in their strongholds of the churches that they had built here. With that, how they did it was they decided that on one particular day in September, that all the pueblos were going to turn all at once, at one time, onto the conquistadors and the priests, and get rid of them, push them off the mesas. And how they did that was they had these runners that went from pueblo to pueblo to pueblo to pueblo, and so what they decided to do,
continue please, yes,
was through a rope tying system. Thank you. This is a pot that represents the runners. This is a pot from one of our Acoma artists, and this represents the runners that ran to. There were specific runners, and they ran to each pueblo with a rope tying system, of knots.
All right.
And so that at the end, and each knot counted a certain day at a certain time, so that all of the pueblos were on the same clock.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, it came to the day finally when the Pueblo revolt was to happen because of the knot system. And at that point, and everyone in agreement, all the pueblos, all at once, all 19, all at once, decided that they were going to get rid of or annihilate the priests, the Catholic Spanish priests, and the conquistadors. And that happened. So all the pueblos got together and they annihilated as many of the priests and the conquistadors as they could. Now this is Spain, and no other place or peoples or culture on the entire face of the earth could overthrow the Spanish conquistadors. They were very, very powerful. They had very powerful dogs too, and horses, and very, very powerful army. But the pueblos did overthrow them. And it was a unison. They were all in unison, and on the same day, at the same time, the pueblos all got together and they pushed off the conquistadors and the priests off of our tall mesa mountains,
mm-hmm.
all in one day. And that was the Pueblo revolt. So what happened was, a few of the conquistadors survived that revolt, and they ran down south of here to southern New Mexico and into Mexico and down. They escaped. They ran and they went back to Mexico City. They got word back to Spain that there was a serious major revolt and that the priests and the conquistadors had been annihilated, and this big drama happened. And so our Pueblo people were able to enjoy or have some victory over the conquistadors of Spain for some time, until later the conquistadors came back again. But they came back and they had negotiations that time, saying that, okay, we have our church up here, and it's the highest place on the mesas of the plaza of the tribes. And all your people can have your plaza and have all your dances. So we all agreed to that, so we could live in peace. So the Pueblo Indians, that's in front of every church of the 19 pueblos. There's a Catholic church on every Pueblo tribe land, and in front of it is the plaza. And at feast days and sacred times and sacred lunar times that we do our spiritual religious ceremonies, we do those on our plazas. And we were able to keep also, the Catholic Church keeps their Catholic churches, but our Pueblo people, our church is called a kiva. Now it's a Spanish name, but it's a round church where we have a ladder that goes into the kiva. It's built into the earth, and we go down into the kiva and our people, and we have our sacred dancers that go down into the kiva and dance, and we have our sacred ceremonies in our Indian kiva churches, our Pueblo churches. So that is how we've been able to come together with the Spanish conquest, the Spanish conquistadors, and keeping the peace of our Pueblo people, and keeping our sacred dances and our sacred traditions and our languages, and we preserved all of that in a harmony, so to speak. So many of our Pueblo people, they'll go to Catholic Church, but they also honor our sacred ancient traditions, our ancient ways too. So that's what makes us very unique here in New Mexico, of the Pueblo Indians. That's right. And the particular Pueblo that I'm from, Laguna Pueblo, it was the last of the 19 Pueblos to be formed. Why? Because the conquistadors brought the Bible. They brought, the Bible, the New Testament, the Old Testament, Jesus Christ, all that. And so some of the tribes said, well, we want to go the way of the Christians, and we want to go that way. So they left, some of the people left their respective pueblos, and they formed a new pueblo and said, we're not going to have a kiva, we're going to have the church there, but we're going to have our villages. So I'm from that pueblo that was formed as a new pueblo, as it was a Christian pueblo, but we still have our traditional ways too, but that's where I'm from. So that's Laguna Pueblo, that's the latest pueblo, that is where I'm from, but originally my people are from Cochiti Pueblo, and we are drum makers. All of our trees are the cottonwood trees along the Rio Grande. We use all cottonwood trees to make our drums, and we'll stretch them with usually deer skin, elk skin, or rawhide to make our drums. So that's pretty much it. Yes.
Lovely. Thanks very much.
Oh, you're very
It's
welcome.
a lovely testimony, and very, very nice dress, and the turquoise and the dress. The hairdress is lovely.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we can finish here.
Okay.
Let me